The goal, first and foremost, was to see if I could do it, to see if I could start my own company and do things a little differently and help our customers in a new and unique way.
When we started, of course, I had been in the business for quite some time, working for both the government initially and then for another government contractor. I saw that you could reap significant rewards by doing your own thing as well as if you take the risk, and I was prepared to take the risk.
Why did I decide to go into business with Bob Elseth and Kevin Mills? Part of it was because we were such a great team. We worked so well together. Each of us brought something to the equation that the other didn't have. And together we were much more powerful, much more effective than we were as individuals.
When Bob, Maria, and I decided to start the company, we sat in Bob's living room. Bob really only wanted to commit to 7 years. And I told him that I wasn't going to do this unless he was going to commit to at least 10. He actually wanted to work part-time and coach his kids' soccer team.
Our first major accomplishment was our first contract. That was our biggest accomplishment. That really kind of set the stage, taught us a lot, and we were able to successfully continue to help our customers solve big problems for the Navy.
Our first subcontract, and then subsequent to that, the first person we ever got to hire, which was Ed Killebrew, Bruce Case, and a woman by the name of Brooke Raymond, who was Brooke Ramos at the time. So that was the 3 instances in the first year that occurred that were really kind of cool.
I think for us was getting a vehicle in place that we could get some work under, and the first one we did was a Department of Transportation vehicle, of all things, where we, if I remember right, was a sole source justification we prepared in order to convince NAVSEA that we could use this non-DOD vehicle to do DOD work under, and we were successful in doing that, so I think that was our first major accomplishment. Followed real soon after by getting our Seaport vehicle in place, which was a major undertaking for the 4 or 5 of us that were with Delta at the time to get that in place.
Our line of credit, all right? The first major challenge was the first payroll, all right? And then making sure we had enough money in the bank to make our second payroll and our third payroll.
Well, I think the obvious challenges were just, getting those initial contracts and putting in the time to work on the contracts while they were also trying to go out and build more business.
9/11 was our biggest challenge. We weren't sure if we were going to continue after we lost Bob, and that was a major turning point for us, deciding that we were going to continue to his legacy, even though he wasn't with us anymore. All 3 of us each brought a unique capability to the equation, and so we lost a part of ourselves. It's a 3-legged stool, and we lost one of our legs, and so corporately that was very difficult. I think for us personally, we all were friends, and so we lost one of our best friends that day, and that was very difficult. It also helped bring us together, show us what we were made of and who we were to each other, to our families.
On 9/11, it was extremely hard, but my first thoughts went to Faith and Annette, then to Sydney and Emily, and Savannah and Maria, because we were family, and we still are family, but it's at a stage that we were all very vulnerable. Much like the country, we felt hurt. Initially, of course, my mind goes to statistics. It hit the Pentagon. It's a 5-sided building. It's only 20% chance. So that was the beginning when it first transpired. 80% chance of survival. So after that, though, and not hearing from Bob, and he would have called in, it became apparent that he was hurt, and of course we realized the worst thing possible. it's still a very hard thing to deal with.
That as they've gone along, they've always kept their core belief in their employees. They have managed to grow and still make their employees feel that each one of them is important and that we value them and that their contribution to Delta is so important. And to me, that's the culture of Delta, and that's one of the most important things that they've been able to maintain.
I believe that Delta, you've got the opportunity to, as an individual, to reach goals that in any other place you probably wouldn't have that opportunity. If you come in and make your bed well, you'll do very well. Every individual is tied to every other individual. It's important that everybody recognizes that and tries to achieve the most that they possibly can.
The Delta culture is about family. It's about partnership. It's about people helping each other. It's about people working hard to do the right thing for the government. I had lunch with someone yesterday, and we were talking about the business. It was someone who's getting ready to retire from the military, and he said, well, you work for the good guys. And I really like that. I like that statement because I do feel we work for the good guys, and we all work together for the good guys. And so we're not in it for ourselves. We're not in it for personal wealth. We really are about empowering everyone to do the right thing and providing everyone the tools they need to do the right thing.
When it started, we all had little kids. We all had a desire to work and support the government, but we also wanted to make sure we enabled ourselves to be able to spend time with family. And so we put in policies and procedures in place that would allow those same benefits to be provided to all Delta employees. The workforce is changing over the last 10 years. The commutes are insane, and so by enabling people to have the ability to work at home or work at their government site or work while they're on travel, it just makes us much more efficient and then allows people to spend more quality time with their family.
For me, because when we started the company, we said we were going to give it 10 years. We're going to see what we could do in 10 years. And so for me, it really is that we've accomplished what we set out to accomplish. It means we've arrived. It means we followed through with our commitment to each other and to the Delta family and doing things different.
To say that a company's achieved 10 years of existence, I think I read somewhere way back that like 80% of all the small businesses fail within the first 5 years of existence. So if you can get through the first 5 years, chances of longevity are good. So by reaching 10 years, we've really provided an indication that we're here to stay. We've lowered any risk of Delta not succeeding. And so now it's just managing the continued growth, and hopefully we can do another 10 years of growth that is similar to the first 10 years. Hopefully another 10 years of explosive growth. I think we're providing exceptional employees to provide support to the warfighter across the whole domain of DoD. I hope we can now expand beyond DoD. We have some employees now working in Department of Energy. We'll look at that as an opportunity for some growth in that area. Help us diversify our contract base, which will make us more stable for continued growth in the next 10 years.
But we don't really have a goal at this point. I mean, we just want to improve and to make sure we stay competitive and that we still maintain the small business culture. That would be a big challenge.
Hopefully more of the same, more growth, more opportunities for great people. I hope to see more leaders develop out of Delta. Very excited to see us expand into other markets, and really hopeful that the next 10 years will allow us to continue with our same corporate culture.